I got really mad at Obama the other day. And I was eating lunch with a guy, and we were both supporters of Obama. And he said to me, he said, wow, do you know how much Obama has to deal with? And cut him some slack. And I said, like what? And he said, well, he's got 2 wars going on. He has to deal with that. He has this oil spill in the Gulf of Mexico going on. He has to deal with that. He has all this stuff going on, you know, with his own administration and elections and who's going to get elected in the next term and all of that kind of stuff. He has to deal with that. He has education system in this country is totally bankrupt, and he went to a school and talked at graduation last week, and he has to deal with the education system in this country. The prison system in this country is overflowing and costing us $5 billion a week, or some outrageous number, 2.5 million people in prison in this country, the highest number of any country ever per capita. And he has to deal with that. And then I said to him, I said, well, what about unemployment? You know, you haven't mentioned unemployment. And he said, oh yeah, he has to deal with that too. And he has to deal with the economy. And I said, wow, you know, remember when he was so hopeful? Remember when you and I were sitting around and we were saying, hey, it's like the 60s again, and we can send them money, and we can actually call. I went down to the phone booth or the phone center and called people up and got the vote out. And I said, wow, do you think you're going to do that next time? And he goes, no. He said, I'm done. He said, I just don't feel. And he said, you know, sitting here talking, it's like there's so many issues. And then I said to him, well, what about global warming? You know, we haven't even dealt with global warming. We haven't dealt with all of this stuff that has come up right now. And how do you deal with it? How do you, if you're the president or if you're in this country, how do you deal with one issue after another issue after another issue? How do you deal with it in your own life? How do you deal with your personal relationships? How do you deal with your relationship with food? And how do you deal with your relationship with drugs and alcohol, and your relationship with your family, and your relationship with your past, and your relationship with your future, and your relationship with money, and your relationship with God, and your relationship with soul, and your relationship, and it's like, and I don't know how. I don't know how to deal with all of that. You know, there comes a point inside where it's like, you know, I want to rest, I want time out, I want to, you know, not have everything in the world to deal with. And my friend, his name is Jim, he said to me, well, then you're going to be dead, you know, so, and I thought, wow, does it really have to get to that? Does it really have to get to the place that the only way you can really be relaxed and vacant and done, that there's not going to be another issue come up? Of course, my grandson said to me just the other day, he said, Pete, I want the 4G phone. And I go, you just got the iPhone last year. And then he's the one that told me, yeah, but you get a real good deal on it if you buy it within the first 6 months of it. They'll let you exchange it for this and that, and then I can have the best new phone. He's 15 years old. I'm like, wow. You know, I said, do you know that when I was your age, we didn't even have answering machines? And he said, what's an answering machine? And I said, well, that's the one. And I said, never mind. And he said, well, all right, I want this, and what am I going to do about it? So, and I want to say about relational presence, because it's one of the things, when I was trying to explain this to an ex-partner of mine about relational presence, and she's a presenter and stuff, and she just did a talk for like 350 people. And she said, but that takes so long. That's so hard to do, to make eye contact with somebody, and then eye contact with somebody, and eye contact with somebody. And I said, oh, now I know that it's right to do, and I want to go back and do it because it's really important for me. And I don't do it in my regular life. I mean, I don't really do it when I go get a cup of coffee. The man at my local coffee shop said to me today, hi, Pete. And I was, you know, and he goes, hi, Pete. And I was like, oh, hi, you know, And it was like I was out the door because I wanted to be on time here, and I wasn't even in relational presence with him, and he had to remind me that I was here, and it was now, and he was saying hello. So, that's all. Thank you.